Hey everyone! So I actually went out after seeing Ashley Weston's video on top 5 sneakers. I went out and bought 2 pairs. So these are based off her recommendations. If you don't know who Ashley Weston is, she is a top celebrity menswear stylist. She has helped a lot of big names, including Chadwick Boseman, the star of Black Panther, one of the highest grossing films of all time now, and now A-list celebrity, with her personal style, his personal style. And you can see that all the time on his Instagram, on Ashley Weston's Instagram. They're just blowing it up. Now, why should you care about style in the first place? This is something that I learned through past experience and through my own struggles, predominantly in the dating realm. I think, yes, style matters in career, but not as much as it used to. I mean, it still matters. Like if you walk in with a suit versus, flip-flops and a t-shirt, some people are still going to care for sure. Silicon Valley has helped kind of diminish that and focus more on just pure talent and skill. But especially in dating, I think it really does matter. Especially, you don't want to be a hypocrite. Like if you care about a girl who's dressed well, who looks attractive, who, has her hair and teeth groomed and has decent shoes on with her nails clipped, you should care to have these as a man as well. And whether or not you're a hypocrite or not, no judgment here. Even if you are a hypocrite and you think it doesn't matter to you because you can be superficial, but a girl can't be superficial to you because that's shallow, at the end of the day, it still matters for you to improve your style and fashion because it's something that will improve the look of your life. It'll make you feel cooler. It'll make you feel more comfortable, confident. And even if it doesn't, like let's say you look 10 times as fly and as cool as you do now, and you don't think it will make a difference on your confidence because you're not that type of person, it will magnify your presentation, your marketing. It'll make you, just appear that much sharper. Because scientific research has shown that just by dressing sharper, people perceive you differently. There's the halo effect from the psychology realm, as well as first appearance effects, and that has a impact through priming on how people are more likely to perceive you and do business with you, or just see you as a person. They're more likely to agree with you. They're more likely to say yes to your requests and so forth. So there is a bit of presentation there. I personally don't do it for manipulative reasons or any of that. It's mainly for me just about dating and working on the fact that I always struggled with style, and I know it's important. Why? Because like it or not, whether Silicon Valley programmers will admit it, these are the types of shoes that I would wear 24/7. Just random cheap tennis shoes that I would just find out and about, or would get passed down to me or bought by my mom. And the problem with that is, if they don't have any fashion sense or poor fashion sense, then that's what was inherited to me. I was low income. So I can talk about my struggle or my childhood story for the next 20 minutes, but you probably don't want to hear that. You want to see me unbox these shoes. So let's start with these, the New Balance. Now I will add some Asian bargaining flair to both of these items. I did not buy any of these even close to the market price that Ashley Weston and her husband and business partner recommended, Dorian. Instead, I used my business savvy to, well, not really business savvy, just online bargain shopping savvy to find them at a fraction of the price. So the first one are these seamless, sleek, elegant New Balance 247 running shoes that Ashley Weston recommended. She linked to it in the description of her video, which brought us to a Nordstrom product page. Now Nordstrom is it's known as a luxury brand, like it or not, and so I wanted to see if I could find these cheaper, and I did. So I found these through a site called bensbargain.com. It's a big bargain site that highlights daily deals and bargains. And long story short, I got these at the New Balance outlet store for a temporary, like, week-long sale. They advertised it as like a daily sale that would end immediately once they sold out. But most of them did sell out, but not all of them sold out for a few days. So like a lot of the colors did sell out quickly, but the ones I wanted in the size I wanted, 10.5, those stuck around for like a few days. And that's probably also because 10.5 is the most common male shoe size. Now, I'm going to leave it to Ashley Weston's video, which I'll link somewhere up above, to, you know, let her tell you why this shoe is so elegant, so stylish, as a running shoe, as a sports shoe, and, you know, a little bit as an everyday shoe. She says, you know, you shouldn't really wear running or athletic shoes as everyday shoes, but I just think it's a bit, you know, too, you know, I don't know what you would call it, arrogant, to have like two or three pairs of shoes that you swap in and out while going to work. I mean, I could bring my dress shoes and then my Converses for, you know, squatting and powerlifting after at the gym, and then my running shoes for CrossFit. But that would just be like, I don't know, I feel like I'd be too like arrogant doing that, and maybe that's just a perception I have to get over. So I tend to wear just one pair of shoes regardless, like most clueless guys who have no idea what they're doing with style. And that's why I resort to people like Aaron Marino, Antonio Centeno, Jose Zuniga and his brother, or Ashley Weston and her husband, because they know the science of fashion. They can understand and explain in logical ways why these shoes are so sleek and elegant. She did mention that the upper is like wearing a sock because it's so light. The whole shoe itself is super light. It's about 3 or 4 ounces, maybe 6 ounces of weight. It's very light to hold. The bottom is like this. The sides are probably the coolest. They're very sleek and elegant, and it's hard for me to even explain why, but Ashley understands it more than me. She deals with hundreds of shoes every week. However, the one thing that after wearing these, I just am a little bit against is looking down on them from above while I'm wearing them. And I think that's important for the user experience as a shoe owner. But when I look down from them above, they look like this. And the thing is, like, these sides, which look very like solid and rigid in place, when you look at them from above, they're actually very flappy and movable. And I didn't even realize that until I bought them and wore them. I thought this was like a really solid, rigid structure, which was really cool. But from above, they look kind of floppy, and like the sides can be moved, which is normal, but like, I don't know, they don't look as cool and stylish to me. But then again, this is why I resort to the experts. Like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And usually when I use my gut instinct to just try and choose like cool colors and patterns, I get these wacky combinations of shirts. Like, check out this Ralph Lauren shirt. My mom bought this, not me, but like, look at these colors. Like, this would be typical of me, like random, like, I don't know, Jamaican colors. And that's what happens with most men when they just kind of like go with their gut and choose these weird shapes and colors and styles that they just, from their eye and no real trained knowledge, they work with. And that's and Ashley does a fantastic job of really explaining this to you, whether it's a shoe or a pair of jeans, and explaining why, you know, logically certain things work and don't work. She'll break down how for a chubbier man you want to wear something that tapers you down more and hugs this skin a bit more, and how you should avoid Suprema cotton and go with peak cotton because it makes you look more flattering, whereas if you're too baggy as a skinny guy, it'll make you look even skinnier. And those are things that I just didn't know before, or I would do the opposite because my untrained eye would think the opposite. Oh, wearing baggier stuff will make me look less skinny. But that wasn't true. That isn't true. Now, I'm going to move on to these Converses I bought. I bought these at a discount as well, and this is something that I highly recommend you do. Now, these aren't the exact type that was recommended by, this is more so emphasized by Ashley's business partner, Dorian. So, it's a high top Converse. I have a low top of white Converses. In fact, the first pair of Converses I bought less than a year ago, also thanks to Ashley Weston's recommendations. However, I bought these high tops not thinking that I would ever buy Converses again for a while, for a variety of reasons, mainly because I found an incredible bargain. So here's the story in a nutshell. I was at this massive mega mall. They had a Converse store. It wasn't an outlet store as far as I could tell because it didn't have the words outlet on it. It could have still been an outlet store, but like it was a Converse store. Like everything in the store was Converse. They had all these different styles and shapes. And I'd seen this Converse store. I'd gone past it numerous times throughout the year. And that's one of the key tricks you can use to really understand whether a deal that a store is giving out is a real deal or just one of those year-round deals that they use to scam unsuspecting customers. And because I knew what the store usually did, I knew the actual price that a Converse fluctuates at, which is around $60 for a standard pair of Converses, without any of the fancy stuff, the high top, the leather or anything like that. It usually fluctuates around $55 to $60. And you might get it down to $50 if you have a coupon from an email list that you join. But that's really where it fluctuates around, and if you're lucky, like the Converse store will do a buy one get one half off. So I knew that was the benchmark to gauge it across. If you don't know this, if you don't like track a store or product for at least a year, like you can be scammed. You might be like, this is a great deal. It could be a average deal or not a deal at all. And so I went in there and I saw on the signs there that it was a 50% off deal. Period. There was no like 50% off after you buy a pair. It was 50% off. Now I went to the cashier first and I checked, okay, is this 50% off for all shoes here? And she was like, almost all shoes. Like there's certain shoes that are marked in like white that aren't available. And I took a look and they were like the standard ones. There's a few that were cool that weren't available, but like everything in the store, the ones on sale, the wacky colors, and a whole aisle of like premium Converses were 50% off. This was a fantastic deal. Other people walked into the store and they like this one guy next to me, this African American, he was like, damn, that's a good deal. I asked him, like, why do you keep saying damn? And he's like, this is a great deal. And I thought about it, and it was a fantastic deal. And even for the high tops, which are generally more expensive because they're more custom, they were 50% off. Now, I got even more excited because I saw the cashiers, like, this was midday, so they had the sale going for a while now. So they should have been more experienced. So I knew that this was something that was, like, legit on their minds because they were arguing. The cashiers and coworkers were arguing vehemently with each other. After I asked them, I double checked, are these high top leather versions on sale? They were arguing with each other like, it says 50% off. That's what, our bosses told us. They were arguing whether these were actually 50% off or not. But like ultimately they're like, yeah, I'm going to give it to you. And even when I went to swipe my credit card, the cashier told the other coworker, like, you said so I'm going to do it. And they authorized the transaction at 50% off. I knew it was a fantastic deal. I got these for about $35, including tax. They were about $70 before the discount was applied. And without further ado, check these out. Look at that. It's beautiful. So it's, first off, this isn't canvas. This is leather at the top here. The sole is leather. The colors are specifically chosen based off Ashley Weston's recommendations on high top sneakers. She was actually referring specifically to what colors you should get for Air Force One, But I applied the same principles to this this sneaker, and the John Varvatos brand Converse that was recommended. The link to that product page was also, black top, white sole. So I went with the same colors. Ashley Weston usually has a great set of recommendations and reasons for the color palette she chooses. It usually has to do with how versatile an outfit goes together. I mean, check out this polo shirt. I did a video on this too. Like, this was based off her recommendations of color, and I got this 100% cotton at even a cheaper price than you can get at H&M. And I'll explain the logic behind that deal in that other video. But the reason why I went with this one rather than the John Varvatos specific brand that was recommended in Ashley's video was because Dorian specifically recommended that Converse because he liked the zipper coming across, and I thought that was really cool. And the problem was, it wasn't offered at the Converse store mentioned. It was clearly a custom partnership sneaker that came out and would have limited shelf space and probably only sold online. But more than that, it was $180. Plus, I wasn't getting the Air Force Ones. They're like $200. I would love an Air Force One, but at my current budget and just being a savvy shopper, I'm not getting the Air Force One for $200. I got these two shoes, a pair of these for $35 including tax. I thought this was a great deal. I really wanted a pair of leather Converses. I've heard about them a lot. I had only had the canvas ones, which are pretty much like a t-shirt, but I really wanted this smooth leather to really I heard a lot about this. Now they also mentioned how when it comes to high top shoes or sneakers, it's hard to pull off. For the average man, you don't want to get these. You need to have a certain swagger to pull these off. I don't think I have that confidence or swagger yet. And so these were a bit more of an impulse bargain purchase, to be honest. Fortunately, the high top is not too high top. And there's other things that you have to consider. When you're wearing a high top, you have to make sure that your pants at the bottom do not bulge out, or that they taper down, because they won't work as well with the high top coming up your ankle as much. Now it's more of a minor or more advanced fashion tip, and I'm always about the Pareto principle, take the 80%. I'm not a fashion expert, so I just took the 80% of the 20% that is most impactful. And so I'm going to wear these sparingly when it is the right occasion, and I think I could come with that swagger, and I have that the right tapered pants. But more or less love this shoe. It's very similar to a regular Converse, except it comes up. The leather is incredible. You have this giant Converse logo here, which I'm okay with. It's kind of hidden, so I know Ashley Weston doesn't like logos that much. And then the material in here is just it's more it's definitely a bit of a cushion plastic, so it's not high end, but it definitely has a bit more of that cushion than standard Converse. So I just find this whole design very sleek. It's brand new. I got to try it on in the store to make sure the size I chose fit. I've started getting shoes that were half a size larger than I actually am, usually because I've had issues with ordering online. I bought a pair of Brooks running shoes that were 10s, and they were way too small for my feet. They pinched my feet, so I had to return those, and even though I am a 10. So a fantastic pickup. Really am excited about these. Again, it's more when you are looking at these sneaker videos online or any type of fashion tips online, they love to pump out content, so they'll give you a top 10 list or top 5 list, and you don't need to get all of them. So 2 or 3 of them are really just if you have the extra money and you're looking for that occasion that really won't occur except for once in a blue moon, 10% at a time, you can usually skip those. This was definitely one of those purchases. I really think that a solid pair of white shoes like the Adidas Gazelles plus a good pair of athletic shoes if you exercise, and then like one pair of dress shoes like Allen Edmonds loafers, or just something else. You know, whatever pair of dress shoes you prefer. Maybe it's Chukka or Chelsea boots, or just a sleeker pair of shoes. Those three essentials, like, that's fine. That's it. That's all you need, and that'll get you through like 90% of situations you're in on the best budget you can imagine, and you look just as stylish as like most people. This extra stuff is really for the people who really have the money to blow, who really just want to get those extra things in, and you know, are looking for that flair, and also, for me at least, spot a huge bargain. So hopefully these tips help. Check out those sites mentioned, and it's not about being cheap here. As you can see with like my brand, the stuff that I'm mentioning, this stuff is not like, when you hear the word cheap, it's about like low quality, it doesn't look as good, but a low price. This is like elegant, this is luxury, this is like leather. This is, when you step into the room and you wear something like this, or those New Balances, it's almost so elegant and stylish and classy that other people can't even tell why you look stylish, because they don't understand the style, the science of fashion. And the best part, the price. You got it for sometimes even less than they paid for something that looks kind of wacky on them. So thanks for watching, and hopefully you found some value out of this. Hit that like button, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Stay up to date, and let me know what you liked, what you didn't about this video. I'm loving this. See you later. Peace.